I'm Todd Lewis from Fiasco Sports, reporting for the SA Football Magazine. Today I'm joined by Steve Moffatt from the Port District Football Club in Division 1, and he's going to do our weekly roundup. So we'll just go through the results from the weekend. Goodwood Saints had a good win over Henley by 10 goals. Prince Alfred Old Collegians defeated Unley Jets by almost 100 points, 93 points. Payneham Norwood Union had a big win over Port District, unfortunately, by 60 points? 70 points? Yeah, 60 points.
60 points.
And Salisbury North had a big win over Tea Tree Gully by 60 points also. And Adelaide University had a big win over Ross Trevor by 10 goals. So there's some big results across the weekend. Obviously a disappointing one for Port District.
Yeah, pretty disappointing, but we went into the season thinking very confidently with the list that we had. We've had a few setbacks like most clubs. Yesterday we played a fair few young players, some kids from our under-18s, mixed in with some senior players, with the coach himself playing the last couple of games, but still couldn't get the result we wanted.
Payneham Norwood Union are one of the strongest sides in the competition. Did you obviously see a pretty classy outfit from them as well?
We did. I think Gary's doing a great job out there. The thing that we noticed that is with our young group against them is that when we focused and played football that the coach wanted, we were able to match it, so that was promising for us. But they're a classy outfit. They'll go a long way this year.
What do you think are some of the keys to bounce back from yesterday?
Oh, the keys are it's probably coming into the bye, which is good for us to reset. Probably the key is try and get a couple of senior players back into the side to take some of the load off the other senior players and work with the younger blokes and keep producing some good footballers for the last 10 games and then into next year.
As the president, you might not know what the plan is this week, but do you think it'll be a tough week on the track for the fellas going into the bye, or give them a week off to refresh and reset their minds?
No, I think Jeremy will, because they're a young group, most of them, he'll manage the list pretty well. Some of the senior blokes might get to take it a bit easier, but I think the younger blokes are in for a rough couple of nights this week, and then I think he'll back off going into the game a bit.
Okay, we'll move forward to next week's games, or the week after the bye. Ross Trevor Old Collegians take on Salisbury North. Who do you think will win that one?
Oh, look, they're both up and down at the moment. They can both play very good standard and they're very low standard. I would, if at home, you've got to pick Ross Trevor.
Okay, Henley take on Unley Mercedes Jets.
That'll be the clash of the round, I think, for them too. Whoever wins that's probably given himself a leg up to be with us and fighting for that, either try and bounce into the 5 or for relegation. I would pick Henley.
Yeah, and Prince Alfred College Old Collegians take on Payneham Norwood Union. You obviously got a good look at Payneham yesterday.
Prince Alfred probably play that game at home, which I think that'll give them an advantage on that oval. They play their ground very well. I think Prince Alfred are the best side in the comp, and I see them getting over Payneham.
Yeah. And Tea Tree Gully take on Goodwood Saints out at Tea Tree Gully.
Tea Tree Gully for me, out Tea Tree Gully. I think Goodwood Saints are starting to set himself for the second half of the year, but travelling to Tea Tree Gully. Although Cochel's not playing and a couple of others are out up there, hopefully they get them back after the bye for their club. I'd take Tea Tree Gully up there.
Yeah, and Port District have a home game against Adelaide University after the bye. Obviously be hoping to get the win.
We'd be definitely hoping to get the win and reset in the next 2 weeks with everything that the coaches want to go through and work with the players to come up against Adelaide Uni. They're again one of the sides that are improving week by week as the season goes longer. So definitely after a win.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about the Division 1 competition this year. Obviously saw a lot of big results on the weekend. Do you still think it's still a pretty tight comp?
I do. I think it's after the bye is going to be very interesting. I think that there's clubs like ourselves that have had some injuries. There are some players out that could come back. You know, it's a lot of players, 4 or 5, 6 players that are shown that they're not up to it without those players. If they get them back, it could turn the competition around again. And you look at some of the top sides that have had losses against other sides. So it's a very up and down season at the moment, very competitive.
Okay, thank you, Steve. I'm Todd Lewis from Fiasco Sports, reporting for the SA Football magazine. Today I've been joined by Steve Moffatt from the Port District Football Club in Division 1, and he's done our weekly roundup.